Are you a green card holder planning a quick trip abroad? Think a short vacation is harmless? Think again. New U.S. border enforcement is cracking down, and even lawful permanent residents are being stopped, flagged, and questioned. What changed? And how can your next trip cost you your green card? In 2025, something subtle but serious is happening at U.S. airports. The immigration rules haven't changed on paper, but how they're being enforced has shifted dramatically. Green card holders are being hit with intense scrutiny, and the definition of permanent residence just got a lot stricter. Let's break down what's really going on, and why your next flight could trigger a legal nightmare. The new enforcement wave. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, has rolled out a new wave of enforcement. Starting this year, green card holders are being subjected to deeper screening at U.S. ports of entry. Officers now review how often and how long you've traveled, whether your ties to the U.S. remain strong, your employment and income consistency, your tax records and mailing address, and most importantly, whether you intend to live here permanently. If you fall short, you may be sent to secondary inspection, flagged for immigration court, or have your green card marked for future monitoring. Even those returning from short trips are being caught in this crackdown. Why even short trips can now hurt you. Think this only applies to long trips abroad? Not anymore. Under current policy, multiple short trips can now appear more suspicious than one long absence. A person who takes 3 3-week trips a year might raise more red flags than someone who was gone for 8 months once. CBP isn't just looking at days spent abroad, they're evaluating travel patterns, intent, and consistency, and that changes everything. If your lifestyle doesn't clearly reflect U.S. residency, your green card could be on the line. Real examples from 2025. Here's what's happening in real time. A green card holder returned after 4 months abroad caring for a parent, and was interrogated for hours. Someone with valid re-entry documents was still sent to immigration court. Others have had their green cards flagged, even when they did nothing wrong. These aren't isolated events. They're happening across major U.S. airports, quietly, but frequently. What CBP officers are now asking for? To prove you still live in the U.S., officers may now request U.S. tax returns, job verification letters or pay stubs, lease agreements or home ownership proof, utility bills in your name, school enrollment records for your children, U.S. bank accounts, driver's license, insurance. If you can't provide solid evidence, you risk delays, detentions, or worse, legal action. One small documentation gap can now unravel years of residency. Re-entry permits are no longer protection. Still think a re-entry permit keeps you safe? Think again. A re-entry permit allows up to 2 years abroad but doesn't guarantee re-entry without questions. CBP officers can still deny entry or send you to court if they believe you're no longer truly residing in the U.S. We've confirmed multiple cases this year where re-entry permit holders were detained, flagged for fraud, or accused of using the permit just to collect U.S. benefits. Applying for citizenship? These trips can reset everything. Thinking of becoming a U.S. citizen? Your travel history could be your biggest roadblock. To qualify for naturalization, you must show 5 years of continuous residence, at least 30 months of physical presence, no long absences or foreign tax filings that suggest a different primary home. Even a single 6-month trip can restart your eligibility clock, and failing to file U.S. taxes? That's a fast track to denial, or worse, a review of your entire green card status. Who's most at risk right now? Immigration lawyers say the most vulnerable green card holders are parents with children studying abroad, individuals managing overseas family emergencies, retirees spending time outside the U.S., dual residents splitting time between two countries, anyone with inconsistent travel or financial ties. The immigration system now demands clear proof that your life is rooted in the U.S., no gray areas, no exceptions. What you should be doing right now. Here's how to protect your green card under these new enforcement practices. Limit international travel unless absolutely necessary. Keep a clear paper trail, leases, bills, school records, taxes. File as a U.S. tax resident every year. Consult an immigration attorney if you'll be gone more than 6 months. If you're applying for citizenship, audit your travel history. Always be ready to prove U.S. residence with documentation. Remember, your green card doesn't just represent a privilege, it now demands proof. The rules may not have changed in writing, but enforcement has. Green card holders are no longer being waved through at the border. The burden is now on you to show your U.S. residency is real, active, and continuous. If this video opened your eyes, help others stay protected. Like, share, and subscribe to Immiscope for more urgent immigration updates.